comeback.
Yep.
Is he in frame? Good.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Live from beautiful downtown Hialeah and everybody's favorite comic book shop, the Goblins Heist. Tonight, the new comic book review night. And tonight, we have special guest Jude Billion driving the short bus.
Yeah.
Little Jude.
Little Jude. You call me Little Jude? I'll take it.
From the passenger seat, next to the one and only, the lovely Italian, Mr. Wonderful. Yeah. Get the people going. Exciting. Yeah. That was good. That was good.
That was good.
Little Jude. We're going to call you Little Jude from now on.
Little Jude. Jude's like, I gotta change my name now.
Little Jude.
Anyway, what's up, guys? It's Thursday. It's another day, another week, another pile of comics that we read, and John's still reading comics in the background. Just like
we read it for you, so you don't have to.
I was waiting for that.
I like that. You should trademark
Yeah,
it.
yeah, you should.
Is that everybody else?
Somebody else says that. I haven't heard anybody else say that.
Dude, that's Nostalgia Critic.
Yeah.
Oh,
Reread them so you don't have to.
Yeah.
I came up with that.
He's been doing it for years for movies.
Oh, he's gay.
Yeah, and then CBR does it for comics.
Yeah, comic reader.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, she.
Nah.
We want you to read a comic, even if it's a shitty one.
No, I don't like selling shitty comics. I try to. We're the only shop that'll be like, nah.
Well, we try to be honest, and we have our opinions, and everybody has an opinion. But
Just like they have buttholes.
What I don't like might be something that you like.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth.
Look, a few weekends ago, I sold the full set of Brian Michael Bendis' Man of Steel. I felt dirty doing it because I do not like the run. I don't like.
Yeah.
Look, I like
Bendis.
Morbius, the movie. I thought it was okay, and you guys keep.
It's not that, but that movie was really flawed and it had a lot of
I didn't
crap
think
to
it
it.
was that bad.
It
I was
didn't
like,
make any
ugh.
sense.
So this
I thought it was like Eternals level kind of crappy.
No.
You didn't like Eternals?
I know.
I didn't like
it.
Eternals that much.
I thought it was different. I didn't think it was
There
horrible.
you go.
See, everybody has an opinion.
Different isn't always good.
You
I
know,
don't like the
the
spirit.
great thing about this country is a lot of people can be wrong.
Which spirit? The one with
The spirit
Bob
movie.
Gilmore?
The what?
Spirit. What
Oh.
Jackson.
It was a little hack. That's the only thing.
Dude, I couldn't finish that movie.
What movie? I didn't remember.
The Spirit.
The Spirit. That movie was
Did
hacky
Bob
as shit.
Gilmore did the Spirit?
No. It was Armie Hammer. Or
That was
something.
Frank Miller directed it, and that was with Samuel L. Jackson. Who else was in it?
I think it was Armie Hammer as the Spirit, but I'm not 100% sure. Because you never see him without the mask.
Awful.
For Wad's at home. He says, I'm tired.
Scarlett Johansson.
He found out the Family Dollar is open and he was already over there buying snacks. He's going to get fat again. You're going to get fat, Fawad.
He lost weight?
He's lost a little bit.
Yeah. he lost some weight.
But he's not. He just can't do it
Yeah,
consistently.
he's using Roman Madero's Little John's back. Yeah. Fabian is on. Ro is on.
The Catskill Mountains. He was doing a stand-up at the Catskills.
For what?
No, Little John.
Why?
You do stand-up, Little?
Why was he at the Catskills?
I mean,
What?
my pace.
He stand-up at the Catskills.
No, what? Why are you winking?
With Shecky Youngman. Actually, isn't that your stage name? Shecky Youngman.
Fawad's like, LOL, Jude, he lost weight?
I didn't mean it like that.
He lost weight? Doesn't look like me. Look at that fat motherfucker. I already have my pick of the week for this week. I'm waiting for people to come in.
I have one too.
How many people do we have so far?
There are 4 people. 4. But it's a lot of people are busy, man. Everybody I'm talking to, they're all like, man, I wish I could be on, bro.
Because it's 9:22. You should start at 9.
We tried to start at 9.
But we have to go to the Family Dollar.
I'm waiting for it to be like 5 people, but fuck it. Let's start talking about comics. First up, Damn Them All #1 from Boom Studios. I wonder, this is with Charlie Adward and Cy Spurrier, I think, is writing. I don't know. I wonder if, like, I don't know. I guess once you're an image artist or anything like that, because Charlie Adler did Walking Dead.
Yeah.
like,
I
did
didn't
Image
get
just not
into the book.
offer?
I tried to get into it, but I had read a couple books
Mm-hmm.
that were in that genre, and I needed to like.
There were a lot
Cleanse yourself.
There were a lot of
of
similar
the-
books this week.
Yes.
I don't know if it was like the last Wednesday before
I think this
Halloween.
is a bit of a departure from the other books because it's a real fucking story. First off, I feel like it's a real developed story. It's pretty much like, imagine like a street thug who's an occult magician,
Yeah.
who can handle spells, and they get into like real grimoire shit, real occult stuff.
It's a little bit esoteric.
Ooh, somebody's using words.
And I wouldn't be surprised if in the next issues we find out that the cult doesn't just run organized crimes. Or
No, it doesn't seem like that either. It seems like they had people that handled it and blah blah blah.
And they also have people like in the government and in like police stations. That seems like where it's going.
Yeah, it's more like it's explaining what is going on and it's unfolding as it goes. And it's a good way of there's some lines in there that are really good writing, like when the guy says like, you know, like a shadow go through water, stuff like that, like to explain the feeling of what these spirits are and everything else. But there's 72 spirits that have escaped hell or the underworld really, and this person's gonna go and like collect them and put them back where they need to be because something broke.
It has nothing to do with vampires.
Nope.
No.
That cover is strictly.
Well, that cover, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean the grab the other cover, grab the original cover. I don't know why we have this.
That's not original.
Yeah, that's what like a C cover. That's the C
Yeah.
cover. This is like the
We
original.
also have a foil cover if anybody wants to grab it.
You want a shiny foil cover?
The weapon of choice is the hammer, huh?
Yeah. Well, the hammer is cursed supposedly.
Yeah.
So
They've done similar stories to
no,
this.
Leo.
Hellblazer.
Leo did not show up today. He had a sick
Not
day.
feeling good.
He has a headache, yeah.
Migraine.
Migraine. He just saw Little John and went, and just walked out. And he just went.
That had an effect on people. No, yeah, I've seen, like I said, similar stories on Hellblazer. But it's interesting. I do want to pick up the next issue.
Yeah, it's not a demonic version of Pokemon, but you could take it as that. But it's based on real life occult dealing. So there's actual pages in there too that they explain to you the demons and that was the thing I was gonna fucking because I never know how to say these words. How do you pronounce Goetia?
Gosha.
Goshia?
Gosha.
All right, because that was like one of the things I was like, how do you fucking pronounce that?
Well, thank you, John.
Let's see here.
Goetia.
Oh, Gosha, yeah.
Goetia. All right. Yeah, Goetia. So that's yeah. What the fuck? I don't know. I think John leveled up over there. Look at that. He's putting points into his strength and constitution. And why did you just throw it on there in the screen? You fucking manimal. Anyway. Oh, it's right up my alley. Okay. Somebody had a Tinder match. Ah, there you go. Is that what it is?
No.
Yeah, but overall, it was very interesting, very cool. Like I always say, a good comic makes you want to read the next comic. This does that. You start reading it, and you're like, oh shit, I want to know more. And it has also like a Snatch quality to it, or Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
It's very
English.
It has like a Guy Ritchie flavoring to it. Yeah.
Because she's also like a street thug, like a fucking...
And it's like really British.
Yeah. British.
Yeah.
A really good comic. I give it a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, the pacing is a little weird because some parts is a really quick read, other parts slow down, but it's good.
I did want to read it.
It is a super serious.
He does some
like,
stuff in the storytelling that I was like, okay, this is a bit of a departure because I've seen it done before, but here, all right, like instead of panel per panel always having something, there is panels like here, and then it starts.
The art is great.
And so this is kind of interesting. I like this mechanic. This mechanic. You saw this, Jude? Like, what do you think of this? Like, instead of having always panels, like sometimes you had spaces where it's just a lot of. Right?
Yeah.
And I think that's interesting kind of way of
it's storytelling, like
you know.
I'm assuming that's narration, right?
Yeah.
That's not characters talking.
No, it's not characters talking. So that was like the idea and explaining certain things. You know, it had a lot of
The whole book has the same paneling to sideways, like.
kind of. I
It's
mean,
pretty consistent. Yeah.
some of it is just more convenient. You know,
It-
Adler is really good at framing. You know, he can do there's a funeral procession from far away and everything else, and the simplistic things of like the drawing. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff in here that explain certain parts of it.
Yeah, it
and it's
actually-
not like a encyclopedia entry. It's like the character talking to you.
Yeah, it's also like really well researched. I think 'cause, like a lot of like the culty stuff looks like stuff I've seen.
Yeah. So there was just, you know, a lot of good. It was really good. It's 4 out of 5 for me. I mean, I think it was a great fucking story. I really dug it. It was fun. I like to see where this book is going. So next up, because John threw it on here like a fucking slab of meat, The Riddler, Year One, written by Paul Dano. Do you know who Paul Dano is?
The guy who played the Riddler.
Oh, there you go.
Excellent.
He's
book.
a Paul Dano fan. He's a Dano-ite.
Well, I'm a Paul Dano fan today.
Paul Dano did a really good movie with Robert De Niro called Being Flynn.
All right, don't Rain Man this, all
Did you
right?
get to read this?
No, I haven't.
Excellent book from
I never got
beginning
to-
cover to cover.
Mhm.
I was not expecting. Such
Is it relative to the Batman movie?
Dude, it's better than the Batman movie. If they would have done the Batman movie like this, I would have been happy.
It's supposed to tie into it, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know. He's like an accountant working at some firm. It's
Because I know that it's getting a prequel series and maybe a comic.
the art is amazing.
Uh-huh.
The story is great. It just started off. It is a slow pace in the beginning, and you're learning about the character and what he's doing and how he's finding out in his job what's going on, and you're learning his mind and you're getting into his mind. I enjoyed it. The book is awesome. I highly recommend it. You're following this Enigma guy, and he's works for a bank or some kind of firm, a law firm, and he's like an accountant for them. And he starts investigating this account. He starts seeing there's these discrepancies in the account, and this account is tied to these mobsters that is using an account that is tied to like a pet saving thing. You know, that they're saving animals and stuff like that. And he's going out looking and trying to investigate where is this money going to, and it's in 4 digits, and they start talking about all these things, how they able to scam the computer.
Now, is this the first of like the Riddler standalone comics?
Yes, this is the first one. Batman does make an appearance in there. He doesn't fight the Riddler or anything, but the Riddler does see him fighting crime, and it's like, wow, this guy is pretty cool. And right now, the Riddler's not a bad guy, but I take it that this is where he's going to.
Well, being the Riddler Year One is reflective of Batman Year One, and so the whole idea is Batman when he first starts, he's like getting, jumping from rooftop to rooftop, getting his ass kicked, and doing all this other shit. So Riddler, this is his beginning.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the idea of it, is to see the beginning of the Riddler.
I got it. There's a lot of good books this week. Pick of the week for me.
Pick of the week? Wow, pick of the week for me.
Art to everything. It's a DC book, and you know I'm not a DC kind of guy.
Yeah, he's Stefan Zubik is the artist. It's interesting artwork too. It's really interesting. Yeah, it looks really cool. So,
I love it.
John's pick of the week, 5 out of 5 for him.
Sure, 5 out of 5.
Wait, let me see it really quick.
Jesus.
Give Jude a peek so he can see the art. I want to hear Jude's opinion on this.
Well, the cover alone is like artsy.
It is.
Like I always tell Juan, this will make our art teacher proud.
That's the stuff that's in the sketchbook, and you pasted stuff, and you use letters from different things, and you put it on there. It's like, ooh, yeah. Oh, I like the textures that you're using.
Style,
Yeah. Oh, what is this? Is this spray
It's a
paint?
beautiful book.
Yeah.
So if you didn't pick it up, I highly recommend it. The writing is very good, the pacing is good, and the art's.
I think originally Riddler was like a patent clerk or something.
Well, here he seems to be working for some kind
Yeah.
of.
Here. Other comics are there.
So what's your opinion on the art, Jude?
No, it's very nice. Very, very artsy.
Next up, Dead Mall, #1 from Dark Horse Comics. I just feel like everybody's getting on the horror train.
Well, it's the last new comic book day or Thursday before Halloween, so.
Yeah. I know, but everybody's getting like a horror.
It was
You read
Walking
it?
Dead with
Actually,
Is it Walking Dead?
I thought
Walking Dead. It was
Dawn of the Dead.
when they get locked up at the mall.
Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
It is Dawn of the Dead.
They've done this a
but
lot.
swap the zombies for some cracked out demons.
They've done this thing a lot with.
I mean, it's these guys versus a haunted mall.
Yeah.
That's the difference. I don't think it's necessarily.
Well, no, it is sort
You
of
know.
like post-apocalyptic.
Why is it post-apocalyptic?
It's an abandoned mall.
It's an abandoned mall.
You said abandoned. He said abandoned. You say haunted. Which one
Yeah.
is it?
It's a haunted abandoned.
A haunted abandoned mall.
So there's no
Yeah.
electricity.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
And so there's a whole thing of like the mall. The narrator's the mall. So the mall's like kind of trying to figure out like, how should I do this? Should I do it this way? Should I do it this way? Should I split them up? Should I do?
Why they're in an abandoned mall for?
Because they just want us teenagers to break in and drink.
Okay.
You know, the classic thing. And the classic horror trope: if you're a teenager doing wrong things, you're gonna die.
Well, the scenes that are outside of the mall looked pretty messed up too. That's why I thought it was kind of.
Nah, I didn't get any idea of like post because they were like the girl still says she has to go home to her mom. You know, it was more like this. What are you talking about? It was more like showing like there's like a difference between the night and day of this mall and what's going on. And it looks like maybe they have to survive the
some
night.
parts where they're camping out
It's
outside
not
of the mall.
It's not outside of the mall. That's inside the mall. That's
No,
inside
not
the
that
corner.
scene, but if you go on, there's like a couple of other scenes that look like it's take place outside of the mall.
No, they never leave the mall. That's the whole point, is that they don't leave the mall.
I missed this.
Look, there's nothing here. Did you read these with your eyes or did you read it with your feet?
What was he saying?
I don't know. He says at the scene with the thing, and I'm like, no.
Post-apocalyptic, so they show the
No, there's no
exterior.
post-apocalyptic or anything.
The mall is abandoned. It's
The
just-
mall was abandoned. It
So
was.
they've never been and had an exterior.
The
exterior
the
shop.
part where the girl keeps saying, "My mom says I have to be home by 12."
Yeah.
Oh, we'll get you home by 12. Don't worry.
I never saw that in Mad Max. In Mad Max, he never said, "Hey guys, I gotta get home by 12."
What home?
Anyway, are you gonna read it now?
Oh, no, this is in the mall. Yeah.
Okay. So either way, it's like okay, like haunted book. The art was a little lacking.
It's not too serious in tone. It's kind of fun. I enjoyed it.
I mean, there was some part. The guy, gets his hand fucking chopped and all this other shit. I think it's all right. It was all right. The artwork could have been a little bit more tighter. I think the artwork was a little sloppy in some parts.
Some of the lighting was a little flat.
Yeah, so I was just overall. But yeah, I give it like a 3 out of 5. I don't think it's a horrible book. I don't know if I would read the second
No, a
one.
3 is fair.
It's a fun read.
It's
Yeah.
a solid 3 for me too. Yeah.
For sure, solid 3.
All
Now
right.
3 is considered good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
Read the book.
3 out
Well,
of 5.
4 is excellent, and a 5 is great.
A 5 is just throw my underwear against the wall. It's going to stick.
Yep.
Anyway, next up, American Jesus Revelations.
The Riddler will do that to you. Man, let me tell you something about this book.
Mark Millar. American Jesus.
You want to start?
I haven't read it, so I don't know shit.
Yeah, this is kind of brutal. They show them killing a baby.
Well, American
Demon
Jesus has always been a really
sacrifices.
fucked up
You
series.
It's supposed to be about the
This
second
is
coming.
the
And,
book, and this is more fucked up than anything that we wanted to do. And
Yeah. Now,
they kill a baby in this book.
yeah, they
Like-
sacrificed.
It's
They slit the baby's throat. And
like,
they
is it
blood,
off
too.
camera? Or?
No. You
Right
see,
there.
like
Open
the
up.
blood
It's
being.
right there.
No, brother. Like, I need to fucking see that.
You guys are into horror. Nah, they're supposed to be.
Nah, I'm not.
He's not-
To tell you the
he's not
truth,
into
I am
horror.
not into horror. I don't know why.
They are.
No,
they are
everybody
Creature
thinks
entertainment.
No. We do horror, right? No, we do.
horror. But I look. First off, I'm not into gore. I like more hard action.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like if you chainsaw a fucking person in half, I'm grossed out. But if you blow him up with a fucking grenade, I'm like, ha. So
see that pink mist.
yeah. So that's the thing. So I don't know. There's like a lot of parts to it that I'm not. My own nephew the other day was like telling me like blah 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 this and this and that. He's like, hey, you want
It's
to
a
see?
good book, okay? It's showing what Hollywood and politics are possibly right now.
It's
tied to
they kill a baby, but it's like it's not like
tied to the
Visceral.
occult and everything else, because I believe Joe Biden is doing some of this stuff. I believe Hillary Clinton
Yeah.
is eating
Babies. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe these things.
That would explain how Nancy Pelosi's still around.
Exactly.
Okay.
See? My point exactly.
Fucking coming out looking
So,
like female Skeletor.
There's possibilities because they're touching on all this stuff about Hollywood. And everybody's talking about this. Kanye's talking about this and everything.
Mm-hmm.
There's
I'm on board with Kanye.
Oh my God.
There's
All
also Adrenochrome.
The
Thompson wrote about it in his book too.
the opinions of John Ayo and Little John are not reflected by Goblins Heist or Goblin Heist subsidiary.
I've not said
The
anything.
book is very...
You're
very,
fucking quoting him.
I just said Nancy Pelosi. That's it.
This book is very harsh, very strong.
Back
If you
out
have a-
now.
If you have a weak stomach, maybe this book is not for you. This book is very strong. I love the beginning where Lucifer fights the Archangel. Michael or Gabriel fights?
It's Michael and Lucifer.
Michael versus Lucifer. Pardon me. Michael got this big hairy chest. You know, Lucifer looks like a girl almost, but
Okay.
yeah. But
Yeah,
Michael's
Lucifer
got
is-
this big hairy chest that fucks up Lucifer.
And a bush too.
Yeah, I like that Michael.
Who's the art on the inside?
The art is Peter Gross.
And the Jesus is represented by a black woman, which I
Well,
kind of like too, because it's not just that she's a black woman.
Not a man, but a
She
woman.
changes
the new Messiah.
into everything. She's everything and anything. She was a little. She explains everything who she was.
Well, originally the new Messiah was originally a little Mexican kid.
Yes. Well, she's.
So I don't know what
talks
happened to
about
him.
it, right? She can change.
Yeah.
It's not like it's really what she is. What she's everything.
Yeah.
It's not really a she. It's a spirit.
Yeah.
I'm everyone and everywhere.
It's hard to explain.
Yeah. But you know why? Because it's the biblical telling of it and
Yes.
everything else.
Yeah.
I've seen the series before. I never cottoned to it too much because I was just like, man, it's not my thing.
It's a really good story. It's
I am giving it 5 stars.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give it a pick of the week because Riddler was a little bit.
no,
you know,
definitely.
this
It's
is
hard.
harsh for some people. Some people might be able to stomach this, but definitely 5 out of 5. Great book.
Yeah.
Highly recommend it.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I do know that the series, I think, just wrapped up shooting in Mexico and should be airing sometime this year or next year.
I wonder if it's inspired by American Gods.
Nah, this
No.
is straight up the Bible.
Yeah.
This is straight up like, the Bible and the biblical kind of thing. Anyway, next
But I
up.
can't wait for Black Woman Jesus to come in here and start kicking everybody's ass.
Where's Black Woman Jesus?
Yeah,
Why?
That's her. She's in the-
What? Okay, whatever.
She's here to judge. She's not here to preach. She's here to judge.
She's judge, jury, and executioner.
Like a black woman does.
That's a black woman.
Come to
That
read.
black woman just
She's coming,
kind of like
she's coming to preach. No. She's coming to judge.
that shirt, those pants.
It ain't happening.
There you go.
Go back, change.
Sure.
Anyway, next up, Star Trek #1 from IDW. It's a whole new story. I read this.
I don't know if this is a continuation to something because it looks like Cisco either died or ascended.
He ascended. There was
Ascended,
like that's how
okay.
DS9. Well, not
Yeah.
ascended. He left with the aliens into the wormhole at the end of DS9,
Okay.
and we don't know what happens to him afterwards. This is him back.
Okay.
And his crew comprises of a bunch of different people from a bunch of Lieutenant Paris from Voyager, fucking
Picard,
Data, a bunch of people and everything else.
Yeah.
It's like an all-star crew on a new ship built by Scotty. Fucking Scotty's in that motherfucker.
Yeah. Scott?
And the engineer
That motherfucker
in
was
his
nice.
experimental ship, the Heracles or whatever the else. It's a damn good read. It's a
is.
really good read. I really fucking dug it.
I will say one thing though. This Cisco makes me miss the Cisco from the Mirrorverse though.
Yeah, there's one thing to say. And it's never one thing. Then you keep saying things.
That's it. I miss the Cisco from the Mirror World. That guy was a badass.
Well, this is the Cisco, the classic Cisco. He comes back. He's very to the point. The pacing's really good. It's kind of those things like, oh, this is going to take a while to unravel. No, they just fucking run through it. It gets to where it needs to pretty fucking fast. And I have a theory that Q's going to show up or somebody. Cause
I wouldn't doubt it. I would not.
But it was really, really, really good. If you're a Star Trek fan,
Yeah.
this is a 5 out of 5.
For
It's
sure.
a
This
fucking
is
for
a
sure.
love letter to Deep Space Nine.
No warp in there, huh?
Uh-huh.
No warp.
Next issue.
Oh.
Because remember, this is after the series is so they've done different things.
Yeah.
So they got so Worf. What happens to Worf at the end of the Next Generation?
What happened to him?
Yeah.
I don't remember what happened.
He's like the fucking lord of the Klingon fucking planet, or the Klingons that are left because the Klingon planet got destroyed.
Oh, okay.
So he's like the king or some shit of them.
I
And all
thought
this
he
other.
was traded to his people.
But he got his worth back.
Wow.
Because
He cleared his name.
yeah, so that was like the whole idea behind it. Ismail says, just finished reading Miss Meow number 5. Thank you, Ismail, with that report from the streets. Ismail.
I didn't get to read that one. I wish I could read all of them, but it's hard to read every single book.
Yeah.
The writing's not great, but it's
I like the covers.
fun.
The covers look amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely pick it up. 4 if you're just you're not a Star Trek fan. It's still a good story. It'll be a 3 or 4 if you're not a Star. If you're a Star Trek fan, this is a 5 out of 5. This is the book to be reading.
It's way
Excellent
better
read.
than any of the Star Trek
I would
shows
subscribe
out
to this
there.
myself and keep it up because it's just really cool to see everybody on there. The artwork is really good. It's they did a good job with the likenesses, so it looks like the characters and everything else. Just everything, and the mission is really cool. That's like their new ship right there. That's actually the ship that Scotty was building. That was his dream ship that he made, and he puts it all together. And then
the blueprints to the Starship Enterprise here.
oh my god, you keep trying to sell that to everybody. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Okay, nobody cares. No, they don't. They're not gonna build one. See, there's a wharf right there. So, you want wharf? They got wharf. Look at that. They listen to you, Jude.
Wharf said higher. Like that.
Damn.
Yeah.
Did you know?
Man, it was like some stupid. I knew some. What was the word? There was like a.
That's Klingon talk.
That's Klingon stuff.
Yeah, if you watch the movie,
Bro, you never been fucking walking
I'm
the.
not a big Klingon.
Dude, there's a condition that affects I think mostly little kids, where they've kind of forgotten to speak English and they only speak like other languages like Klingon and.
No, you're full of shit. Get out of here. Klingon's not even a real language.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a language. It's a language. It's not a real language.
No,
It's
but-
a language.
but
Dude,
That's
it's
not saying.
it's like Dwarvish. Tolkien made his own language for the books. There is a Klingon to English thesaurus.
There you go.
Let's see. Wait, does this not actually transfer?
They say, don't wait for the translation. Answer me now.
Tatavish Peach Uvbach.
What does that mean?
Means shut up, asshole.
Damn, they fucking up Bloodshot real bad this cover.
Yeah,
This was fun. This was a.
They fucking Bloodshot in this whole thing.
The whole fucking book is just like, man, them Nanites,
Yeah.
they rebuilt shit.
Well, he has to get some other body parts too.
This has been really good.
It's good.
This has been a good fucking
And you know what I'm looking
series.
forward to? Exo Manowar.
Yeah,
To the next issue.
yeah, he's making an appearance
And
in
he's
there's going to be a
getting
new series.
a new series
Now,
next
Becky
year.
Cloonan's writing that. She's a damn good writer, but she did a lot of shitty books over at DC, so I'm a little concerned about that.
That could be
Why?
editorial.
You're not talking about the last book about, oh my God, the horror, little baby dying. But look at this cover.
Yeah, but look at Bloodshot.
But you know what? Look, first off, it's a robot hand crushing you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
more
It's a
cartoon.
man who's a fucking soldier.
Yeah.
You know, it's always worse when it's an old lady, a little kid.
He
It's
knows what he was getting into. He got into
Yeah.
That's the hard
The
way to
art
go.
reminds me of Keith Geffin's work.
But he doesn't go. He keeps coming back.
Yeah, there's
It's
a
really poppy and really fun.
The art's amazing.
yeah. The art's been very, very decent in this. A lot of good establishing shots. It's nothing like
I look at the action figure in the back on the back page.
Oh,
the back
Well, that's
cover.
the statue.
The vinyl is-
Oh,
That's
my
the
God.
statue.
Yeah.
That's a new statue. I mean, they're like even when they use the flashbacks, they're having like good like panel work.
This is
Yeah.
not
It's
kind
a
of-
fun fucking
This
read.
is not a Valiant book that you make fun of, and it's not those dollar Valiant books.
Well, I wanted to show Jude this. There's a whole fucking page of a robot beating the shit out of Bloodshot and just throwing him through walls down a building.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And Jeff Darrow style?
Yep.
Jeff Darrow style.
He took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah. And that's him ripped in half, dragging himself
Towards a corpse.
towards the corpse so he could absorb it.
Deadpool got nothing on Bloodshot.
No, this is Deadpool on steroids without the
Yeah.
humor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like if Deadpool was a good book to read.
Yeah, and this is like, you know, it's a great fucking read. The
Yeah.
storytelling is really good. Valiant's making some fucking good efforts, you know?
And it's not the movie.
I still haven't seen that movie yet.
It
Me
was,
neither.
uh,
I haven't been like, I've been
I
like,
saw it. It was like a generic sci-fi. It had no edge. It was really polished.
They messed up at the trailer of that movie.
Yeah.
If they hadn't revealed that they were lying in his head, and that's what it's about in this book too. He's like, yeah, I have this memory of like fucking having a kid, and one day he scraped his knee, and I was eating cherry pie, but I know it's fake. The memory's fake. It's something they planted in me because they figured out the only way you make an ultimate soldier is that I have something to lose. So then, like they even thought like these terrorists were in it. So
recall too. They made the guy think he had a family and everything.
Yeah. Well, he was living that out.
Yeah.
But they're saying like planting that idea, like you had this kid and everything, and then they kill the kid.
It's total recall, but in reverse.
So you have the memory of the kid being killed, and then they tell you these terrorists did it. What's going to happen? You're going to go and take all the effort you can to fucking murder these people. Yeah. So that was kind of a cool way of writing it and putting it together and everything.
I love the memory of his kid keeps haunting him.
Yeah, and he's like, is that even real? Is that my brain just making...
he's just...
Yeah.
The book... Yeah, another 5-star book, bro.
Yeah, it's a 5-star book. This is an excellent book.
It's a really good week for comics.
That's the actual Flanagan cover.
Flanagan cover?
Yeah.
I would be there with the toothbrush and the red paint because I love doing that shit.
Reading a violent cover of somebody. Yeah. Oh God, that's hard to watch. His eyeballs.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing, the viscerality of it. Yeah. So
that's the kind of book you have to cover when the little kids come by your table.
No.
Fuck that. Was asking, who's the artist?
The artist is, let's see here. It's writer Denise Camp and artist John Davis Hunt. What a hunt!
Do we have any more number ones left? Because number 1 was great.
I don't think so.
I'll have to check later.
You have to check number 1 books. That's an issue too.
Yeah, I know. Well, a continuance of this because we said they were going to come back, and this is an anomaly. It's a good Valiant book.
Yep.
We got to report it. We got to tell people about it, guys. A Valiant book came out that doesn't suck balls.
It comes with a variant or just one cover?
Yeah, it's a variant.
I don't think we have any other variants though. But this is exactly why we were reporting on it. This is a book that is good, and we're recommending it because it is good. And you really should jump on it.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's the thing. I don't want bad comic books. I don't want anybody to make bad comic books. I want all comic books to be awesome all the fucking time. I don't give a shit who is making it. You know?
I didn't read a bad one this week.
I don't think I had a better one.
You
know what? I know I'm not. It's not a bad comic book when I'm like this and I'm not going.
I was doing that because I always do that.
Yeah, that's if I do it, it's a bad comic book.
Exactly.
If you do it, it's Tuesday.
You're exhausted.
It's just me.
Next up, Moon Knight annual 1. Hey, who read this? I didn't read it.
No. I read it. It's pretty traditional Moon Knight book. It has.
Do you have one thing to say about it?
It's fun. All 3 characters are there. There's personalities.
I don't like Moon Knight as that anymore. I do not.
Well, because you read the original run where he was
subscribed to this Moon Knight with the Egyptian lore. I do not like this. Moon Knight was a werewolf hunter, and that's what. But
like for one issue, dude. Yeah, Jesus Christ! Get your foot off it.
I don't like this.
I like the first 5 issues of Superman. After that, once he started flying, I did not like Superman no more. Because he started flying.
His original backstory, he was a pitcher.
Alright, the original Moon Knight was like an espionage story where instead of having 3 different personalities, he had a bunch of aliases. One was a monster.
Yes, that I like.
Yeah.
And he was a billionaire.
Yeah, well, one of them was a billionaire.
One of his aliases, yes.
Yeah. One of them was a monster. I think he had more than 3, if I remember.
No, it was just the taxi driver,
the
mercenary, and the millionaire.
Okay, so he just had the 3.
He wasn't a billionaire, he was a millionaire.
I think this Moon Knight was introduced
he had that helicopter, had those little
Crescent Moon had blades, yeah.
Yeah, I think this Moon Knight was introduced in the Universe
X
comics
series. It flies.
Yeah. I dug it. If you're looking for something to hold you over till season 2, this is probably where you're gonna want to read. The art is pretty good. The writing is solid. I mean, it's fun. I enjoyed it.
I think the art director fucked up on that one. They're putting the logo at the bottom and all that dead space on top of that cover. It really bothers me.
I could see that.
Well, they want the moon.
There's plenty of room.
They wanted the moon up there.
Yeah, I don't.
It's moon.
I don't mind it.
What the fuck they thinking?
They should have put the moon in front of the title.
Or incorporated them into the title, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't mind it.
It's the moon.
I mean, that's
just all that dead space.
That's something you'd have to probably be an artist to, like, pick at.
But hold on. my eye is going towards
The logo at the bottom.
no.
Or
It
towards
goes-
the moon.
It goes to his face, right towards the moon. So,
Mhm.
so I think
Yeah.
the artist did a good job.
Yeah.
No, I said the art.
Well, that's not the artist. That's the designer. That's the
The
designer.
logo.
Remember, they'll tell you sometimes that like, hey, logo's gonna go on the bottom, logo's gonna go on the top, and most of the time they wouldn't do logo on the bottom.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
that was a faux pas. Like that's a because if once it's on a rack, you might not see it. Not like these racks, but remember the older racks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know who it was? Jeff was here. Was asking me if we had a spinner rack, and I just started laughing my ass off. Like, 'cause you're crazy.
You can order them. They're expensive as hell.
They're expensive as hell, right? They're like $300.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was telling him because his mom wanted a spinner rack to display all the books he's done. Oh.
You
Oh,
get-
the mom does books too?
No,
No, the
Mom
books
has
he's
all his
done,
books.
all his
you
books.
order the spinner rack through Diamond, and it's like $300.
$300. $375.
There was a
I
company
think.
that was crowdfunding them. They had like different sizes. They had a tabletop spinner one. They had
They have those same
and two sizes.
Well, they destroy comics. It's not. It's just like if you put them in a bag and board and put it on a spinner rack. I remember being a kid, and if sometimes like I wanted to buy a comic, but I'm at Eckerd's or something. Remember Eckerd's?
They're good for
They
the
had the
dollar
spinner.
books.
Yeah, and you're like,
Yeah, those books are always raggedy.
yeah, all messed up and
They're
bent and
raggedy.
shit. Oh well.
I think if a book is well displayed on the wall, fuck that spinner rack shit.
Yep. You heard it here, folks. June Million says, "Fuck that spinner rack shit."
Yeah, fuck the spinner rack.
Next up, Nightfall double feature from Vault Comics featuring the Cemeterians, and I forgot what the other Toy Story is called.
Ooh, look at that classic horror cover.
I read it. Did you guys read it?
I read it.
Yeah. I thought this was fucking excellent.
Yeah.
This is a great fucking story. The first story, it's two stories really in one. The first story kind of gets you into this whole thing where bones are appearing suddenly in like objects. There's one girl's getting an MRI and she's holding her like stuffed doll in it, her stuffed dolls, and then they detected something in the MRI. When they looked inside and they opened the dolls, there's bones inside the dolls.
Not just
and
bones, but like the full-on skeletal structure.
Yeah. And so like these bones are popping up in different things, and
Like
so
little miniature bones.
Yeah.
yeah, just bones that's coming out of nowhere.
Like,
And
it's
a big horror mystery, you know. This other guy was then they put these two together. One is a former minister that's been kind of thrown out of her church and thrown out of a bunch of stuff, and this other guy who's like a fucking genius, but he's like a maniac. Like he's like three different like major labs have thrown him out because he's dangerous, and they're investigating what's going on.
Sorcery.
Would you
Yeah.
say this was a Grindhouse comic?
No, I don't think it's a Grindhouse comic.
Not gory enough, or
Yeah, I don't think gory. Grindhouse is for the flair. Like it's like chainsaw through the head, a lot of blood going on the walls. This is more like it reminds me of Fringe. Did you ever watch the show Fringe?
yes, that's actually one of my.
It's
favorite
one of the
shows.
shows that
It's a little darker in tone than Fringe.
Yeah, it's darker than Fringe, but
It gives me the movie The Reanimator.
yeah.
Well, even the Reanimator was a little bit more fucked up than this,
Yeah.
because
This one just deals. So when they're investigating, there's these other cases, and that's what binds them. And one is a guy who was playing piano, and he's a master piano player. It's amazing. And all of a sudden, he's making the worst notes. And when he opens the piano, it's full of bones. And then the next person is a guy who, like, it was a baseball game, minor league. He hits the ball, goes out. The ball gets hit so hard it unravels. When they unravel it and they look inside, it's full of teeth.
yeah.
So what the mystery is, how are these bones popping up in these household objects? They kind of get into the Ark of the Covenant and some other stuff like that. So it was like an interesting take on everything. I thought it was really fucking good. I mean, like the way they put it together, you want to read the second issue. It's a page turner. You're not, waddled down with the mysteries and the bullshit.
Yeah.
The characters are actually funny because it's a scientist and a minister who are solving these cases. So they kind of batting the whole thing back and forth at each other. The ball of like what, religion and God and science and everything else. So it was really, really cool.
So I think inside the book is mostly the setting is mostly nighttime scenes.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Cloverfield Paradox, the Netflix movie, where the two dimensions fuse, but shit gets fucked up when it does. That could be something that could be happening here. Just different parts of two universes merging in a really messed up way.
I think there's something more insidious than that. That's more scientific. Okay, and what I like in the middle of the book, when you go to the next story, it's intermission. Yeah. So that was really cool that they had that. That's intermission time, see you at the concession stand, blah, blah, blah. And then it moves on to the next story, which is called Denizen. And that's another story that it's, you know, kind of throws you for a loop, throws you for one way. Then you see this kind of weird horror thing happening with a guy in a trailer on a truck. And then it just shifts to a family on vacation. And some stuff starts happening when they start, you know, getting into it. I don't want to spoil it. But that's another story that's really good. For this one fucking book, you know, at, I think, what is it, $4.99? I think it's a $4.99 book. I want to say... No, sorry, $7.99. It is a $7.99. It's an $8 book. But you got 2 books in one.
Mm-hmm.
But...
It's not a thin book, but it's also not super thick.
It's fucking worth it.
Yeah.
For me, this is my pick of the week. I read it. I enjoyed it. I was like, ooh, cool. It made me think.
Wow.
I like it. It made me think. It tingled me. It touched me in the right places at the right time. You know?
So was it DC Marvel? It's a Vault Comics, I guess.
Yeah, Vault Comics. This gets my pick of the week. It's a really cool fucking story, guys.
The Key Collector also says it's a pick of the week.
All right, there you go. So, excellent
Dude,
fucking...
the indie companies are really taking it to Marvel and DC.
I think these indie companies are looking for movie deals.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, you know...
Oh, I could definitely see it's being done as either as a serial or as a movie.
I just don't know if Hollywood is doing the same back. Not like it used to. Because I remember when we would go to San Diego Comic-Con, we would go to different places, you'd be approached by agents, you would be approached by people, they would pick up our shit, everything. So that it used to be more exciting. It seemed like everybody was looking for that next hot thing. And, you know, now I think there's probably some kind of number to it. I mean, remember, the thing is the packaging, too. It's like, if you're a guy, let's say you're doing this book and you sell, like, 10,000, 20,000 copies, and you're an indie darling and everybody likes you. If you sell 10,000, 20,000 copies, they're going to come to you and kiss your ass. They're going to come and take you up because now you have a built-in audience. It's the same thing happens with podcasts. I was reading this about podcasts. I got picked up. I always thought, how the fuck do you make a TV show from a podcast? You know, like there's people that have gotten TV shows, TV deals and movie deals.
So many people, so many properties was picked up, but that don't mean anything would come out of it.
Oh, the optioning thing is the big thing. If you get optioned, it just means we want first dibs. You can't shop it anywhere else. Here's $20,000 for the year.
And now you got bragging rights saying just option for a movie.
Look,
yeah.
The most obscure comic that's been turned into a series, and it's nothing like the comic. Warrior Nun.
Yeah, it was terrible.
The series is absolute freaking trash, and it's getting a second season.
I could not sit through the whole thing, and I wanted to.
I didn't watch it. I just didn't rank.
It was so bad.
Because that came out when we did Double Impact and and you did Razor, and that was in that era.
Yeah,
and I wanted to support it, and I wanted it.
I don't even think this show needs TNA.
No, and Warrior Nun was an anime-style comic book with lots of tits and ass. They took everything that made the book fun out, and it's just an obnoxious show.
I mean, look, there was one book that they did a pretty...
Tits and ass. Yeah.
That they did a good adaptation of it because it was very true to the book was Old Guard. And they're going to make a second season.
Yeah.
You know, I watched it. Cool. Look, it's Highlander without the cool fucking lightning.
Yeah. Look, Netflix bought Millar World, and so far they've done shit with it. So
well, they keep changing things. That's the thing that gets me. So, Raul's getting taken that.
Yeah. Had they done Jupiter's Legacy, how they did it in the comics, instead of jumping back and forth, I think it would have been
that was
much
the biggest
better.
flaw of it. And so was Super Crooks, too.
Super Crooks is good. I enjoyed Super Crooks.
The original kicks its ass.
I didn't enjoy Super Crooks, the cartoon. I did enjoy it. I wanted to like Jupiter's Legacy, but Jesus Christ. Man.
They fucked up because the whole thing is that it should have started like almost like Mad Men, you know, like in the 50s, that kind of fucking world, the superheroes, and build towards the big grandiose end that they had. Instead, they flashed forward and they had no fucking weight.
I thought the cast was absolutely phenomenal.
That wig that they put on this guy.
But that was the other thing.
But didn't it look just like the comic?
No.
Not at all. They had a helmet on.
Yeah, it was. No, it just looks like a fucking wig. I mean, that's the thing that happened. It looked like a fucking wig.
If the wig wouldn't have looked like a wig, it would have
I did like the costumes, though. I really did.
Like the costumes. The costumes were hokey, and them fighting.
Well, they were kind of hokey in the comic too.
The main villain, the bad villain, that was like everybody was fighting at the same time. The special effects were so atrocious.
Yeah.
I'll give you
if
that.
y'all would have seen the first few episodes of Spartacus, y'all would have tapped out, but eventually people stuck with it.
Spartacus was good. Spartacus,
yeah, but that story was all over the place. They distilled down the story from Jupiter's Legacy, tried to crush it all into like the first season, and it was like, dude, this is something that's going to take 4 seasons to tell. You could have done the first 10 years of them having the power, the flashbacks with the island and all this other shit and everything else. Bullshit. It was too much bullshit. It's just too much. I was almost going to say, well, fuck the island. Don't do the island. But it would have been cool to see the golden age of superheroes in it. But that would have been Mina.
Yeah.
It's easier to show an island and rocks and bullshit than fucking 1950s cars and fucking
Who came up with that symbol? That rub your fingers
the
together.
money symbol?
Money.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. That's funny. Older than...
No, according to Kanye, it should have been the Jews.
No, brother.
That means give me my money.
Well, it means money.
But if you put your hand upside down, what's that?
You're sprinkling salt.
You spicy.
The Spice Guy.
Yeah.
Oh, who actually turned out to be.
What I love is they have that
Tommy.
scene in The Simpsons where they're arguing about
I think it's
education
very
for children and all this other shit. And they're like, oh, but you have to think of the children. The children are our future. And it's like, all the people are like, yeah, that's true, that's true. Then the principal was like, yeah, but it's going to cost us money. It's like, hey, he has a point too. And she's like, how can you put a price on your children's future? And they're like, yeah, we can't put a price on it. And then he just goes, and they're like, he's got a point. Yeah.
He did that
As soon as you go.
Let's get
So, it's all right, next up, Punchline, the Gotham Game 1. The Gotham Game 1.
It's the one comic I read out of the whole stack that I just did not like at all.
Really? Why is that, Little
Why
John?
you showed that cover?
The- I like the cover.
Not that one. I mean,
It's just that.
look at the one behind you.
Yeah, I know.
Give me the other cover.
The one in the middle.
There you go. All right.
Bueno.
That's much better.
Scorpio is ready.
Well, okay. Well, how come you didn't like it?
Okay, the dialogue is super cringy and super dated.
Because what?
Okay, they come up with it starts with a journalist or some kind of blogger, and he does the whole "it's your boy" thing, and it's just, oh my god. The
Well,
whole
you know,
thing is like
I
that.
agree with you on that. It's cringy,
It's
but
super
that's cringy. Those people are fucking cringy. The
Yeah.
guys that are live reporting. So the whole thing is Punchline gets out. She gets exonerated. That was what was left. They did a couple of shorts in the back of Joker where she's going through trial as Joker's girlfriend. And she actually gets off. Like, so the court doesn't find her guilty. So she's the first of the Batman's villains that went to court and beat it.
Yeah.
So she OJ'd herself out of that fucker. And now she's trying to see her next move, and then we're catching up with her in this. And in one of those, there's a kind of weird illegal concert under one of the bridges in Gotham, and there's a guy live YouTubing it at the thing, and he's showing it, and he's like, "It's your boy," and blah blah blah, like you're saying.
It's supposed to be over the top.
Yeah, well, it's not only that, it's fucking cringy. It's lame as shit. A lot of that stuff is dumb as fuck. But then they start beating his ass. I was laughing because there's people putting comments while he's getting his ass kicked by these guys that are clowns.
But here's the funny thing. I think that actually did happen to a blogger where he got his ass beat for being an asshole.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then...
But it's just like, I don't know,
The
man.
art.
Tonally,
I think the art's very good.
the art was good, but the tone of the comic, I just couldn't get past.
Mm-hmm. The artist is Gleb... Man, where are they getting these people? Gleb Melnikov.
Overseas, man. Easy
That's-
money.
Yeah, easy
Easy
money. It's, Americans
And
ask for
talent,
too
too.
much
A lot of
money.
talent.
Americans ask for too much talent.
Easy
Money.
money, and they'll break their backs for it.
I tell Batman, yes.
Look, one of the best artists in comics right now is Stepan Sejic. He's Croatian.
Well, I thought it was a pretty damn good issue for a Punchline. I mean, it shows the character coming into her own. She's kind of doing a lot of shit moves in the underground of Gotham. Her getting the Royal Flush Gang, doing a bunch of other different things. It was a departure for
This
the
is
character.
a new Royal Flush Gang from the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always revolving, ever revolving, and
Yeah.
there's different people that come up and get it. But I thought it was a pretty good
So it wasn't
take
the
on it.
ace, and it wasn't the king, and then
No, well, they develop a new ace in it. The king and queen are like semi-weirdly retired, and I think they hired Punchline as a prostitute to bang together. Yeah.
It's called escort.
So, yeah, like as an escort, the banger. That's how she gets to know them. I'm telling you, there's a couple of things that she's doing here where I'm like, oh shit, she's really taking charge and doing a couple of things to move.
What's going on with Punchline?
But she doesn't have any powers. She's just a big follower of fucking
Joker.
You know something between Punchline and Harley Quinn? Do they have the same personality?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Punchline's more methodical, serious. She's about
She's
different
closer
things.
to the Joker, like in personality.
Yeah, but she tells jokes while she's killing you, right?
No. Like,
it's just it's a name or moniker.
Would you say she's like an anti-comic or something? I don't know.
No, it's not an anti-comic. She doesn't make any fucking jokes. She's just the thing is what she does is the punchline.
But I see her smiling most of the time.
Yeah, of course, because she dressed up in that fucking
knows
way.
what she does.
Yeah. So I thought it was a really interesting fucking take on it. It's an interesting. I like that they're doing this in a couple of books, like in Catwoman and everything, where it's like it has a thing. They're fleshing out the Gotham City underworld.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of cool too. This fleshes it out even more. Like it's like, oh, because they're gonna go and take on a warehouse and try to take it from these, but it's in Catwoman's fucking territory. So they're not. The Batman's not gonna get involved.
So what you give this book?
I would give it a 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. I really wanted to fucking see it.
So with John, what you give it?
I didn't get to read it.
Little John. Because you started off
Maybe
by
a
saying
3.
You didn't like it.
I didn't like it. But actually, look, I know I have awkward taste. I love shitty B-horror movies. I just didn't like this.
Okay.
I mean, but doesn't mean it's not good.
It's subjective.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, you can be wrong. That's all it is. That's a beautiful thing about this country. You guys can be wrong. Anyway, I thought it was really good. 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
I want to read the next one, actually. I really want to read
I
the
would
next
also
one.
read the next one.
Next up, John's favorite book, Lovesick, number 1.
Actually, that's my pick of the week.
No, it wouldn't be, you fuck.
That book is something else. I don't know what to say. I think it's my one Punchline cover A.
Cover A.
This is A.
Yeah, this is cover A right here.
This book is something else. It is not for the weak of heart. Not for the weak of stomach. S&M all the way.
But it's not like 50 Shades of Grey. This is a legit take on the darker side of S&M.
This is whole fucking stuff.
It's a fucked up take on the S&M.
This is
The cover alone lets you
Yeah.
know, hey.
This is a guy they put a pig mask on him before they killed him.
I will say this. This is my take on it. This is weak sauce fucking Red Room. Weak as fuck. I don't think it was that violent. I think this is a lot of poser shit. I didn't think it was like that. Because, you were telling me a couple of things, and I thought, oh, man, be ready. Be ready. Fucking, dude, there's issues of...
Yeah, Red Room is over the top. Okay, Red Room's over the top, but Red Room is
next door locked?
No, they're still there.
No, I just saw Robbie leave, so I'm going to go see if it's locked or not.
Yeah, go ahead. Red Room is gratuitous in its violence and in its gore. They doing it. I got off the Red Room bandwagon because it was just for the sake of violence and gore already.
But I think, believe it or not, and I can't believe I'm defending Red Room because I wasn't that big into Red Room.
No. Because you're saying that this wasn't as gory as Red Room. This was different than Red Room because this was more of a sexual thing. Okay, so this had more...
Okay, I'll give you that.
It
it's
was
more sexual.
It was a more S&M based book. Red Room was just killing for killing's sake, and it was just...
I think both of them are a disservice to like the S&M stuff too, because S&M is more of a...
This is more S&M than Red Room was. S&M was some crazy fucked up bullshit that's...
Yeah, it's a fucking gore and...
This chick is a hot chick, dresses up in stilettos, she sticks him in your balls, and then she sticks something up your ass and kills you. Fun for everybody.
But she didn't really kill anybody in this,
she did.
No,
The pig outfit.
Oh, the pig outfit, yeah. She
That's
like,
on the cover. And
yeah,
he's
that's
naked
snuff.
there.
Yeah, that's the one she
And she
snuffed.
steps on his dick and everything.
Well, that's S&M shit. That's the S&M shit. But the thing is that they're talking about it's like being a Red Room, being this, being that, and all this other stuff.
The Red Room is like, I guess, where they do the actual snuff
Show.
films.
The show.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's not
yeah,
fun.
that's fine.
But then she
But
had-
the thing is, this is, if you look at it, there's no real fucking gore in it. There's nothing in here. It's a lot of red fucking, like, it's me with the toothbrush with the red paint going
okay, but
all over the place.
they
Like,
don't show. Okay, they don't show somebody getting gutted.
But
and then
your
some of it,
imagination.
and then it's like,
They
You leave it up to your imagination.
I guess you wanted to see it, but this
not gonna, you led me to believe that it was like a lot.
It's
I was
direct.
gonna be more shocked. And I would dare say, actually, a Faust is still more shocking than this.
Faust
Yes.
is way more shocking. But I was not expecting Image to put a book out like this one. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I haven't seen
But
it.
this is a little, you know what this is? You know how, like, there's porn, and then there's Showtime porn?
Yeah.
Showtime.
And sometimes Showtime porn does the job,
Yeah.
because you got it, but you're always like, it's
This
like
is Showtime-
diet,
This is Showtime porn with blood, I guess.
like Showtime Red Room. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I'll give you that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just like,
What is
yeah.
it, PG-13
I was
Red Room?
ready, like, I had my battlements up, I had my defenses, I had my holy fucking, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be insulted by this book. This book is going to fucking destroy my psyche.
No, I wouldn't have gone
And then
that
I just
far.
came out of it with more like, this is Hot Topic shit. And I was just kind of meh about it.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought
Didn't enjoy it either, just like I didn't enjoy Red Room. Like, I didn't give a shit at the end,
So
and
in
I
other
think it
words,
was in a good story.
If you never was like get pumped up about it and just watch it on your own, would you wouldn't have been a hard.
Because you kind of walk away. I don't know. Again, maybe this issue one is to set up what it is. But I walk away with like, what the fuck did I read? What I read for this for?
Okay, let me give you a little bit more.
The
background.
foreshadowing.
hype you up.
This is more. She's a demon supposedly, and she's a mother demon.
Well, but there's no indication of any of that in
Well,
there.
there are people that are on the.
They
internet,
saying
No, I
they're
don't think she's a demon.
They're accusing her of being a
another
mother
demon. Yeah.
and they want to get in the Red Room to try to kill her.
Yeah.
And these guys, one of the guys that she has, at the end, he had written, "Oh, I'm gonna get you. Pick me, put me in the Red Room, and you put me in the Red Room. I'm gonna take you."
Yeah, because they talk about incels and all this other
Yeah.
shit. And,
So this guy was threatening to kill her in the Red Room. So she gets him and puts him in the Red Room with her.
Mhm.
And the guy, please, no, I love you. I love you. I'm sorry.
yeah.
It was done by the artist that did Bolero, which is another series that I really enjoyed earlier this year.
I thought it was for what it is. Yeah, I'm gonna give it 4.5.
Really?
Yes.
Uh,
I
for-
think it was better done than.
Maybe in issue 2 we'll give it some kind of
I think
plot.
it was better done than Red Room. It wasn't as.
It's not as hard
As
as
hardcore?
far as Red Room, which
Oh,
is
you can't get a 4 because you said it's a bigger weight, so it's got to be a 5 if you're picking it for the.
not
bigger
always.
weight.
It's not always.
Okay, but.
No. That's how a pick of the week
Pick of the
fucking
week is
works. High five.
And I'm
Fucking-
going to give it a 4.5 because it's something that I'm going to give it a 4 because not everybody. This is not everybody's cup of tea.
Okay.
Some people might not like it. Some people might be offended by it. You obviously have a strong stomach for shit like this, so it didn't bother you.
I liked it.
I don't think Fabian would like this kind of book.
Well,
Right.
No.
Juan said-
Oh, that's it. Not Fabian approved, guys.
Juan
Not
said
fit.
it was
We're
a
gonna grab our
hardcore
copies. We're gonna burn them outside. That's
Juan,
it.
Isn't that what you said? You said
Yeah.
this wasn't hardcore enough.
You know,
It's not that I needed
it's not
it
meant
to
to
be
as
more
hard as
hard.
Red Room.
Dude, can I talk?
Sorry.
He's like fucking talking for me and shit. I'm just gonna sit here and wait. It's not that it's not hardcore enough, but it has to go towards something.
Yeah.
And all it is just panel after panel of just I don't know, like people playing the part, like, oh, look at me, I'm fucking masochist. Look at me, I'm bleeding. You know what I'm saying? And it's just that it feels fake. It feels wannabe. It feels like you're trying to prove something. I feel this is a ripoff of the Red Room. I think it's a ripoff. Maybe it's a common thing. Maybe it's an idea that everybody had at the same time. That happens a lot too. But I feel like it took a lot from that. So I just feel like, you know, have you ever read The Big Black Kiss? Do I want to read The Big Black Kiss?
I don't think so.
I don't know. You're scaring me there,
You're
Fabian.
scaring me.
Fabian. So that was the only thing. I don't think it was horrible in the sense of the artwork, the pacing,
Very good.
the sequential. Decent. Not
Alright,
great.
Can we show Jude the art, please?
Let me see. I mean, you guys
Let
have a
Jude
complete
see the art.
Opposite of.
Give me another copy from
Y'all read the same book, but y'all see two totally different things.
I like it.
I know Jude's gonna look at it and be like,
I I mean, first page, you're looking at acid and
Well,
pussy.
it's a guy dressed up as a chick.
that's a guy?
No, that's
Oh. Okay.
That's the guy.
Yeah.
You'll see his penis real soon.
He's running for his life.
You'll see his penis real soon. That's it. We put that on the business card. So here, Goblins Heist. When you get it, you'll see his penis real soon.
And that's the guy she puts the pig mask on.
Yeah.
There's a lot of blood, a lot of red.
I'm telling
like
you.
the art. What do you think?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, the cover is really nice.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that cover.
Obviously, a different artist in the inside.
Yeah.
But,
Luana Vecchio, I think is her name.
yeah.
So I was just like, you know. I give it like, for me, it's like a 3,
Really
2.
pretty.
It's not bad, you know. I don't want to say it's a shit book, but not my cup of tea, not what I want to fucking read. And my thing is, what's the fucking plot other than
It looked
maybe
like-
possibly there's people that want to kill her.
Yeah, but nobody got pleased here. It's just straight killing. Nobody got, like, tantalized.
Yeah.
Well,
You're supposed to get tantalized.
read
first,
it and you'll see it. And then at the end, she
I know, it's supposed to fucking balance out a little bit. It's
Bring
supposed-
in the Cenobites.
Damn.
That's what they need.
Remember that guy? Chatter?
With the teeth.
Have you watched the new Hellraiser?
Not yet.
Nah, me neither. I
I
haven't
heard
watched
good
it.
things about it, though.
Yeah, I heard
It's
it's not bad.
closer to the novel.
At least,
than the
like,
first one.
you know what I like? People weren't bitching that much about the female Pinhead.
Well, she was.
I'm just
originally
glad,
female.
you know,
Nah,
I'm just
they
glad,
like
you know,
They
they're
like
not
the
putting, you know, that was the one thing that was just like, oh,
I
God.
give this book 4.5 stars. I recommend it to people who aren't, you know, offended easily.
Mm.
Is
I
that-
like it.
is
I don't think it was that offensive, but it's a better take on BDSM than I've seen in many places.
And you give it.
I give it a 4. I give it a 4. Solid 4.
Oh, you said it's
It was your pick of the
It
week.
is my pick of the week.
Then it's a 5. Pick of the week is a 5. I can't go pick of the week and it's a 1.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like, how's that work?
He said 4.
No, but hold on. You can't have a terrible book and have it a pick a week. Because I did that one time. And it was a terrible book, but I loved it.
Yes, the
Yeah, it's still there.
Yeah.
From that 80s book that they reprinted. And I love that.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
we have a mutual friend who might appreciate this, Rob Anderson.
No, probably. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Rob Anderson. He's a
Yeah.
good guy.
He likes nipple clamps.
Yeah, he does.
Anyway.
But yeah, Rob Anderson. Shout out, brother.
Hey, watch it. The pastor could be listening. It might.
Yeah. Read Black Kiss by Chaikin. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. No, I have not read it.
Howard Chaykin?
Yeah. Anyway.
Rick and Morty.
Where's the Rick and Morty?
You went over it. You fast.
Oh, I didn't.
It's not in here. Oh, look. I did not get to read this.
I don't. I'm not a fan of Rick and Morty, so
I love Rick and Morty. This is Rick and Morty. They're going in
No 100th issue?
Issue 100. They're going into some kid's brain that
I didn't.
he's
know
a big
somebody else
fan,
read
I didn't read it.
and he's from another dimension, and he's been following all the adventures of Rick and Morty. So he's kind of vegged out, and they go into his brain. This book is over the top. I love Rick and Morty. Great book. The new series is on, by the way. You get.
I haven't been able to watch it.
I have it on my Amazon account.
They're on their 100th issue?
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
God damn.
It is a good book. They bring back the dinosaur, not the dinosaur, not
The dragon.
The team is back on again. The superhero team that they would have.
Mm.
This has everything from a little bit of everything is sprinkled into this book, and I think it's something. If you are a Rick and Morty fan, this book needs to be in your collection.
The cool thing about the
4.5
comics.
stars, 5 stars.
It's excellent. Yeah.
Look,
It's stupid, okay? Because everything that's happening is like, what the fuck? Does it make absolutely no sense?
Yeah.
But it's Rick and Morty, so and the art is good. It's Rick and Morty, and it is what it is.
I'm not a fan of Rick and Morty or the fandom. To be honest, it's too stupid of a show for me to like it. I think. But what's cool about the comics is the comics are not just canonical to the show; they're the filler in between seasons.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, the creators have said that the comic book exists as another dimension of Rick and Morty. So it's its own canon, but it's not. Yeah, it's not C-137.
I never seen that one episode of Rick Morty. So.
Well,
I've
sit
only-
down and binge.
Watch it. Yeah, it's a great show. I think it's a great fucking show.
I
It's very smart.
binged this season. What can I say? I wasn't as blown away as I have been in seasons past.
Yeah.
They just did like a bunch of things. It just seems like they did stories just to do them, but they didn't have any continuation for the. Maybe I missed something, they didn't have any continuation for the previous seasons like they usually do,
Yeah.
and keep the story arc going. I think that these were just
Filler?
filler.
A whole season of filler.
Yeah, and it was like 7 or 8 episodes short,
Yeah.
in and out, and it was like it left me wanting more. I'm like, there's something missing here. I felt like I
think that what happens is like, what is it? Their 7th or 6th season? Is there 6th season?
No, nothing like that. What is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, six.
Yeah, so it's the 6th season of it. So that's the thing. I think after a while, you have expectations. And if they don't meet those expectations at, every season or every episode, we all have this feeling of...
Give me that.
So that's what I'm saying. That's where a lot of shows at that level, that's where it gets fucked up. And if like something doesn't change or doesn't go, and this guy, how he writes it, Dan Harmon, he writes in a circle. He literally writes in a circle. So if you look at a lot of episodes of Rick and Morty, all this shit happens and they're back in the same place at the end.
Well, most TV
And
shows.
sometimes they're even saying, like, Rick is even saying, that's a great thing. That's amazing. We get to survive and we come back. And they deal with that. So they're doing that with these loops now. So it's sitcom writing. It's simple sitcom writing.
Yeah.
You don't change a sitcom because it's the formula of entertainment that you are using to fucking get people to watch. So that's the thing.
Yeah, before when sitcoms used to be on the verge of dying out, they would just introduce a bunch of shitty characters.
Yeah, but a new character. Here's the baby brother.
Well,
they had this. Somebody dies
remember,
off.
I remember when season 2 finished, that Rick, put himself in the jail,
Yeah.
and he voluntarily went to the jail to save his family.
Mm-hmm.
And you see that he sacrifices himself for it. It showed a softer side of Rick, and I was like, man, this is really good the way they did it. You remember that? He just walks into jail and everybody freaks out.
Yeah.
And then the beginning of season 3, he escapes the jail and destroys everything to be with his family again.
Yeah.
So he's doing it for his family. This was just to do shit. This is Little John says filler.
Yeah. So that's the thing.
Season.
That's the thing. So, I mean, it could be that formula. He's doing it on purpose. He's doing it on purpose to see what happens.
But I would like for him to get back into
Yeah. I think I would have liked Rick and Morty had they been able to do what they originally wanted to do, which was Doc and Marty, a spin-off.
Oh my God! That would have been crap. That would have been garbage because it can't go anywhere that's different. You're gonna have to stay within the parameters of you're using a borrowed property. You're not gonna be fucking doing anything on there. Yeah, that's.
Fabian, if you like the series, you're gonna like this book. I highly recommend it. If you're a collector, issue number 100 is our keys. This is issue number 100. Issue number 1 of Rick and Morty is booking for how much right now?
Well, we just sold the 25th anniversary reprint of it, and it went for like $30.
There you go.
So
issue
like
number
the one.
100, definitely a spec book,
Yeah.
in my opinion, and especially that double page cover. So I would jump on that if I was anybody here.
Okay.
And a lot of you guys are collectors. It's a great one to get CGC.
All right, there you go.
One, I think you do a kick-ass Rick and Morty book.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to get in there. Somebody there's like a line of fucking comic book artists that got in there, from what I heard. So I was trying to get into it. I think that's all the books. I did. No, Vanish. I didn't read it. I was doing the sketch cover. So
Oh,
Did y'all mention something about Meow?
Miss Meow.
Ishmael wanted it.
No, he already had it. He already had number 5.
Look at that cover. That's a true TNA cover.
Yeah.
Oh, they had better covers.
Yeah.
Would you bring it over? He's obviously like, Jesus. He's like there with his arms folded. Yep. Yep. Miss Meow.
TNA.
Yeah.
it's crazy how the guy with a concussion is
He's more on it than him. Fucking brainiacs around here.
That is really
I used to think it was that good. I mean, they had better covers.
You didn't like that cover?
Yeah, that was fun.
It's okay.
That's fun.
It's okay, but they do legit to have better covers than other issues.
You need a little more.
And the better ones probably would.
And it's funny because they're really trying to make this. I mean, come on. This is.
It's just.
I know, but this is 90s to me as hell. This is Bad Girls,
Well,
but I think it works. It works.
Well,
I think it's so hilarious.
Like Death Range.
There's the part there, like.
I think it is amazing.
Yeah, that's
Great
fun.
double impact.
Yeah, I was gonna say it has a double impact thing.
Yeah,
Here's the
creators
classic
of that 90s
superhero team run out of the base fucking thing. Come on. So I like that. I like that they're doing that shit. There's a
That
place
book
for.
just gave me a hard on.
Yeah, there you go. That would have been your pick of the week if you would have read it. You know?
Get the people going.
All right.
Yeah, baby.
All right, guys. Please like and subscribe and share and tell people. Don't be ashamed. Love your LCS. And then tell them, hey, I buy my comics here. Stop laughing. Stop laughing at me. We'll be back next week, Tuesday, as always, the new comic book day. This weekend, on Saturday, we're going to have the Halloween Goblins Market. If you come in costume, you get a free comic book. And we're going to have a bunch of other stuff going on, hopefully, and just check that out, starting at 12. Bye.